There's a guy at your office. Doesn't talk much. Never raises his voice. He doesn't crack loud jokes to fill the silence or jump in to prove a point. But when he walks into a room, something shifts. People move. Conversations reorganize. Eyes track him without anyone noticing they're doing it. And everyone in the meeting, including you, is slightly more interested in what he has to say. A man sits at a conference table listening, while every other person in the room subtly tracks him with their gaze. He hasn't spoken. You've met this person. Maybe at school. Maybe at work. Maybe you've watched them on video and couldn't explain why you couldn't look away. They're not the loudest, not the tallest, sometimes not even the most successful on paper, but they command something. And nobody taught them a script. Nobody gave them a TED Talk opener. It's happening below the level of language. Today we're going to break down exactly what that is, where it comes from, and how you can start doing it too. Because it's not magic, it's biology, and it's older than words.
My name's Alex, and this is about nonverbal dominance, the thing your nervous system reads before your brain catches up.
Let's start with chimpanzees. Stick with me. Frans de Waal spent decades watching chimpanzee colonies up close. His book, Chimpanzee Politics, published in 1982, still cited in psychology courses today, documented something that made researchers uncomfortable. Chimps didn't just fight for status, they managed it. They formed alliances. They signaled rank through posture, gaze, and proximity. The highest status individuals weren't always the biggest or the most aggressive. They were the ones who understood how to use presence. Robert Sapolsky, Stanford professor, neuroscientist, author of Behave, took this further. He spent years studying baboon troops in Kenya. He found that low social rank correlates directly with chronically elevated cortisol, stress hormones. The lower your perceived status in a group, the more your body is running in threat mode. Your nervous system doesn't know you're in a meeting, not a jungle. It's making the same ancient calculations. Here's the part that matters for you. Your brain is still doing this. Every time you walk into a room full of people, your amygdala is scanning faces, postures, and microexpressions before you've consciously registered anything. It's happening in roughly 200 milliseconds. You form a first impression of someone's confidence and status before they've said a single word, before you shake hands, before the meeting starts. This is not opinion. A 2006 study by Janine Willis and Alexander Todorov at Princeton showed that people form trait judgments from a face in as little as 100 milliseconds. And those snap judgments barely change with more exposure time. Your brain has already decided. So the question is, what is your body communicating before you open your mouth? Albert Mehrabian's research from the late 1960s introduced the now famous 7-38-55 rule. 7% of emotional meaning comes from the words themselves, 38% from tone of voice, 55% from body language. When your words and your body disagree, people believe your body. You can say, "I'm completely confident about this proposal," while your shoulders are rolled forward, your chin is down, and your voice trails off at the end of every sentence. Nobody's buying it. Their nervous system already filed you under uncertain. The good news is this runs in reverse. You can shift how other people's brains perceive you without saying anything different at all, just by changing what your body is doing. Amy Cuddy's research at Harvard, published in 2010, and yes, it has had some replication drama, but the core behavioral effects on perception remain widely documented, showed that expansive, open postures change how others rate your confidence and status in social interactions. Not just self-perception, others. High-status primates take up space. They move slowly. They hold eye contact without aggression. They don't flinch at noise. They don't fill silence with nervous chatter. Their stillness signals, "I am not threatened." And if I am not threatened, there must be a reason for that. Your brain reads that signal and updates its threat model accordingly. So let's get specific. 3 things you can start doing grounded in the research. The first one is stillness under pressure. Watch someone who's anxious in a social setting. Their body is moving constantly, touching their face, shifting weight, adjusting their phone, checking something that doesn't need to be checked. This is displacement behavior. Primates do this too. It signals internal threat. The brain reads it. This creature is unsettled. Unsettled creatures have lower status because they're responding to their environment rather than controlling it. High-status presence looks the opposite. Slow, deliberate movement. When you're nervous, especially before or during high-stakes moments, your instinct is to move more, talk faster, fill every silence. Do the opposite. Slow down. Let the silence exist. When you make a gesture, complete it fully and stop. Don't let your hands wander after the gesture is done. Don't touch your face. Don't adjust things that don't need adjusting. This is harder than it sounds. Stillness under pressure feels exposed. You're resisting your own nervous system. The second technique is controlled gaze. Eye contact is one of the most loaded nonverbal signals in primate social behavior. Look away too quickly and you're submitting. Hold it too long without warmth and you're threatening. The high-status zone is held, relaxed, unhurried. Most people break eye contact first because holding it feels uncomfortable. That discomfort is the signal your brain is interpreting as someone more powerful than me is looking at me. The moment you look away, you've handed something over. It's automatic. It's ancient. Here's a practical adjustment. When someone is talking to you, hold eye contact about 70% of the time. When you are talking, you can look away briefly to think. That signals processing, not submission. But the most important moment is when you've just said something that matters. Hold the eye contact after your last word. Don't blink away. Let it land. That pause, that held gaze, tells the room, I said what I meant. Combine this with a small, controlled nod, not excessive, not bobbing, and the person you're talking to feels genuinely heard, which paradoxically increases your perceived status. People feel powerful around someone who makes them feel seen. The third technique is owning your physical space. This one trips people up in the most common situations. Sitting at a conference table, most people unconsciously shrink. Shoulders curl in, elbows come to the body. They take up the minimum footprint, the nonverbal equivalent of saying, I'm not a threat, please don't notice me. Which, again, is a status signal, just not the one you want. This doesn't mean man-spreading into the next 3 seats. It means sitting back fully, letting your arms rest wide, taking a deliberate, unhurried breath before you speak. When you stand, stand with your feet about shoulder width, weight even, not rocking. When you walk into a room, don't rush to find your seat and disappear into it. Pause at the threshold for a second. Look around. Let the room land. The rushed entry versus the owned entry. The difference is 1 breath, 1 beat. This works because of how your nervous system responds to the actual expansion. Research on proprioception, the body's sense of itself in space, shows that postural shifts genuinely affect your internal physiological state. Expanding your posture lowers cortisol, the stress hormone Sapolsky linked to low-status baboons. It's the same biological loop running in your body right now. Your body and your brain are in constant conversation. Expand the body, the brain responds. There's one more layer to this that most people miss, and it connects all 3 techniques. Mirror neurons. Discovered by neuroscientist Giacomo Rizzolatti and his team in Parma in the 1990s, originally in macaque monkeys. Mirror neurons fire both when you perform an action and when you observe someone else perform it. They're one of the mechanisms behind empathy and social learning. But they also mean that when you're calm and still in a room, other people's nervous systems start resonating with that calm. Your state is contagious. This is why the quiet guy commands the room. It's not mystery, it's neuroscience. When someone walks in radiating low-threat, unhurried stillness, the brains around them start to synchronize. The room's collective nervous system downshifts. And now you're the anchor, the person everyone is subtly looking to for cues. Not because you demanded it, because your biology offered it and theirs accepted. Your calm is a field. Everyone inside it adjusts to match. Let's put this together practically. Before your next meeting, presentation, social event, whatever your version of high stakes is, run this quick check. Slow your breathing for 60 seconds. Not deep breathing theater, just slower. Slow your movement on the way in. When you sit down, sit back and take up your full space. Before you speak, let the previous person's sentence settle for one beat before you start yours. Hold eye contact when you say the thing that matters most. That's it. That's the whole package. No script, no tricks, just the signal your nervous system already knows how to send, if you stop drowning it out with anxious noise. Before you speak, take one beat. Let the room wait. The people who command rooms without saying much aren't performing confidence. They've just stopped performing anxiety. And the ancient primate part of every brain in that room notices the difference immediately. You've already got the hardware. You just have to let it run. The ancient biological hardware has been running since before language. You just have to stop blocking the signal. Your nervous system knows how to do this. It was built for it. You've already got the hardware. You just have to let it run. Same room, same clothes, same words, completely different presence. Presence isn't something you add. It's what's left when you stop subtracting yourself. Start in the small moments, the elevator, the waiting room, the coffee line. Practice stillness when the stakes are zero. A man waiting in line, unhurried, not checking his phone, not shifting weight. Others around him fidget. He is simply present. Presence is a muscle. The more you practice it in low-stakes moments, the more available it is when it actually counts. Give your full attention, not because you're performing it, because you've decided it's worth giving. Walk into every room at your own pace, not the room's pace. When you present, your posture is already your argument. In every interview, every negotiation, every first conversation, your body speaks first. Make sure it says something worth hearing. After you say something that matters, hold the gaze. 2 full beats. Let it land completely. Stillness isn't absence of energy. It's concentrated energy with nowhere to leak. The room around you will always have noise. You don't have to add to it. Your calm is the most underused social tool you have, and it costs nothing. When someone pushes, don't collapse and don't fight. Just stay. Let your stillness answer. You've already got the hardware. You've always had it. Today, you just got the manual. Build it in the morning, before anyone expects anything from you. Small, deliberate moments build into a default state. That default state walks into every room. One breath, one pause, one owned entry. Stack those every day. Let conversations end without chasing them. Let your presence speak after you've left. Receive a compliment fully. Don't deflect it. Don't minimize it. That's what low self-status looks like, and people notice. When someone tries to pressure you, slow down, don't speed up. Pressure speeds people up. Status slows them down. Laugh when something is genuinely funny. Don't force it, don't suppress it. Authentic ease is presence. Ask questions from a position of curiosity, not apology. The question itself carries your posture. You can disagree calmly. A grounded man can hold a different view without raising his voice or shrinking his spine. When you make someone feel seen, they remember you. That's status without performance. How you leave a room matters as much as how you enter it. Leave clean. Leave calm. Distilled to its simplest form, stop performing. Start occupying. Practice sitting with yourself quietly, not meditating theatrically, just being still without filling the silence. Watch yourself on video. Not to be harsh, to notice what your body is saying when you're not paying attention. Every walk you take, every wait you sit through, that's rep time. Unhurried movement is a practice, not a personality trait. Put the phone down at dinner, not as a rule, as a choice. Full presence is a rare thing. People feel it. Film yourself for 30 seconds and watch it back. Just once. You'll see exactly what needs to shift. The moment before you enter, that's where it starts. One breath, posture open, then go. Not because you've become a different person, because you've gotten out of your own way. You've already got the hardware. You just have to let it run.